guys, what's going on? Jay the Reporter coming at you once again. Now, since the NBA playoff bracket is completely set, I figure I'd give y'all a breakdown of what I think is going to happen, as well as who I think is going to be the NBA champions at the end of this. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and get you guys to go ahead and tap that subscribe button. It's right underneath. You can either click it if you're on a computer, or you can go ahead and just tap it with your finger if you happen to be on your smartphone. But go ahead, let's go ahead and get into this. Going to start with the Western Conference, since that's the one that's a little bit more loaded. It doesn't have as many injuries in it. So we start with the West. The 1-8 Lakers Blazers. I know everyone loves Damian Lillard right now. I love Damian Lillard right now. I don't love their chances. The last time the Blazers team saw Anthony Davis in the postseason, it was a quick 4-0. You add LeBron to that mix, I don't see this really going too well. I do think that the Blazers have enough talent to maybe win a game, but they don't have enough depth to deal with the size of the LA Lakers. And in the playoffs, attrition does come into play. I'm just going to take the Lakers in this one 4-1. They're pretty much going to walk right over the Blazers. It's too big for them. Next up, we got the Rockets Thunder. Rockets are going to be playing maybe a couple of games without Russell Westbrook. This could be an issue for them, but not one I don't think they can overcome. I got the Rockets handling business here, 4-2. Chris Paul, you overachieved this year, and I'm proud of you, but it's just not in the cards for you guys right now. Next round, we got Nuggets Jazz. This one's a little different. Now, Nuggets Jazz is probably the most evenly matched, but you also have to deal with the fact that Mike Conley for the Jazz is not playing in the early parts of the series. He's not playing, and that's mainly because he just had a son. Well, I'm not sure if it was a boy or girl. I didn't really check the news on that, but congratulations either way. But him having to sit out for a couple of days, well, I think it's like 10 days, 15 days had to sit out. So I don't see that going too well for the Jazz. I got the Nuggets winning this 4-2. And the last one in the Western Conference, I really was saying in some conversation with some friends that if you're the Clippers, you wanted to get the one because it gave you the easiest road. But you start off with, to me, probably the scariest team in the West is the Dallas Mavericks, the scariest team. But I got the Clippers winning that 4-2. Now, very easily, this can be flipped. The Mavericks can walk out of this in 6 games, putting the Clippers out. It can happen. Luka Doncic is a killer, point blank. Dude's averaging a triple-double in the bubble. To me, that's MVP status level of play. But Clippers over the Mavs, 4-2, moving over to the Eastern Conference. Now, Eastern Conference is a little bit easier to pick out because there is some serious difference in the talent level of the teams. Bucks Magic, I got the Bucks sweeping Orlando, even though Orlando technically has home court advantage. I don't have the Magic winning the game in there. Pacers Heat, I got the Heat winning 4-2, just based off the size of the Heat. The Heat are way too big for the Pacers, especially missing Sabonis. That's big. If you don't have a rim protector, especially against a team like the Heat that got guys who can drive, like Jimmy Butler, guys who are going to attack the basket, if you don't have a rim protector, it hurts you more than it helps you in situations like this. So that's why I give the Heat the nod there. Now, you got the Celtics and Sixers. Last year, I very easily probably would have took the Sixers in this matchup because of Ben Simmons. But now they don't have Ben Simmons. It's all on Embiid. They really lack shooting. I don't think there's a chance that Philadelphia can even really get momentum rolling in these games. I got the Celtics handing them their butts, 4-1. Just not going to be pretty. And then to wrap up the Eastern Conference, I got the Raptors 4-0 over the Nets. And I know a lot of people are like, man, give the Nets a little bit more respect. I will once KD gets there. This is the playoffs. The Raptors are proving they can win. Even if they don't have marquee guys, they've proven they can get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I just believe the Raptors have a little bit more complete roster. They're a lot deeper, and they're playing with house money. I'm throwing my money on the Raptors in that one, 4-0. Now, getting to the second round. This is where things get a little bit more intense. So, Lakers, Rockets. Now, this is a really big series, given the fact that Westbrook should be back by then and moderately healthy. And then you're also running against a full-power LA squad who will have Rondo back at this point, which that is really the key there. Because Rondo may not be the guy he was back in 2009 when he was a top 5 point guard, but he's still a guy who can get the job done as far as what the Lakers need him to do, which is get out there, move the ball, keep the offense going when LeBron's on the bench. So this really helps them out. I got the Lakers over the Rockets in this one 4-2, and this also comes down to them just being bigger. I mean, there's no one really on the Rockets side that can handle Anthony Davis, that can handle Dwight Howard. Heck, there's no one on that roster that I even trust to strap up JaVale McGee. So if there's no one that you have on your roster who can handle these guys, I don't see anything going too well for them. That's how I got the Lakers going 4-2. I just believe at the guard position, the Rockets hold all the advantages, but LeBron holds the biggest advantage because there's no one on the Rockets roster who's going to strap LeBron James. Now, the bottom half for the Western Conference bracket has the Nuggets and the Clippers. Now, the Nuggets, Clippers is a little bit more even of a matchup than people want to give it. The Nuggets are bigger. They're better in the half court than people will give them credit for. They're probably the best half court team, maybe in the NBA next to the Bucks for me. But as far as how they really roll, I'm believing they're probably the best half court team in the NBA. All right, I'm just going to throw that out there. Probably the best half court team in the NBA. But I got the Clippers just based off of pure talent and experience winning. This is where this comes down to it. Experience winning. You have a winning coach, winning star player. And actually, if you want to look at it, even though Paul George never got to NBA Finals, he took teams in Indiana that weren't that good further than they should have. So give them what they can take. I got the Clippers winning that one 4-2. It's just going to be a really rugged series, really rough. I don't expect too much in the way of scoring as far as what the league average is, which is somewhere around 120 points. So I'm believing it's going to be around maybe the low ones is what we're looking at here. But like I said, Nuggets, Clippers, got the Clippers 4-2. Now, to the Eastern Conference. Bucks, Heat. This is a better matchup than most people are going to really give it credit for being, because people look at the Heat and say, well, who do they have? They're deep. Doesn't matter really who you have if you have that much talent. And they have that much talent. So, Bucks, Heat, 4-2. I'm taking the Bucks. I just believe that with all the rest that they had for the season ending the way it did, to having to pick back up, and now Giannis and those guys are really beginning to get it rolling again, I just believe the Bucks have that much more talent, or honestly are just that much bigger, and can actually handle the Heat size way better than the Pacers could have ever dreamed, especially in that first round matchup. So I believe the Bucks are going to sit there and hand these guys a little bit harder way to go. 4-2, Bucks are winning that one. Now, the bottom half of that one is where it gets pretty interesting, and honestly, I had a hard time kind of putting this one together. Celtics, Raptors. This is probably the most even matchup of the entire second round, because the Celtics are deep, so are the Raptors. Now, the Celtics have more notable names, given Tatum and those guys. They have a little bit more on the name side, and also a little bit more, they play a little bit better defense for me as well. So that's just kind of how I look at it there. But Celtics over the Raptors, 4-2. So you got Celtics, Bucks, Lakers, Clippers. Sorry, didn't see it coming like that, but that is what it is. So let's keep it in the Eastern Conference. Bucks, Celtics. I got this thing going the distance. It's going 7, because if anybody can handle what the Bucks are going to dish out, it is the fact that the Celtics have the other things that the Bucks don't. They have better coaching, better wing players, they're a little bit better at guard, but Giannis kind of he's a cleanser. He erases all the sins of the Bucks, because the Bucks do have some things they need to make up, but they can always make it up in a different fashion. That's how I see that playing out. Now, Bucks, Celtics, going the distance. It took me a minute to kind of see where I want to go with this, but I'm going Bucks in 7. So the Bucks get to the NBA Finals, first trip for Giannis. Now, Western Conference, here we come. Lakers, Clippers. Everyone saw it coming when the season started. Both rosters loaded, both teams ready to rock. They played well against each other throughout the regular season. This one's also going 7 games. Lakers Clippers, here's where the true advantages lie, and it's all in the post. All in the post for the Lakers. It's on the wing for the Clippers, but I do believe it's a little bit more even on the wing than it is in the post. So the nod goes to the Lakers there. But, like I said, it's going 7. If and only if the Lakers are 100% healthy, do they win this series? They don't win this series without being 100% healthy. They need that. That side is going to have to rock. If they stay 100% healthy, I got them winning in 7. So just to appease me, Lakers over Clippers, 4 games to 3. We got Lakers, Bucks in the NBA Finals. We got LeBron versus Giannis. And honestly, the Lakers' depth, it does it for me. It just really does it. Lakers are a lot deeper than the Bucks are in areas that they needed to be deep in. They basically prepared themselves to be bigger than the Clippers and match up very well with the Bucks. Now, where things can get a little dicey is that the Bucks are a little younger. They can run, they can get out and run. So if you just try to run a faster pace, you may be able to catch the Lakers on the heels. But if you get into a half-court game and that eliminates Giannis for the most part, and you can kind of put up a wall the same way that Toronto did last year, is put up a wall and force Giannis to shoot 15 feet or deeper, then yes, you're going to give yourself all the advantages to win. And I believe the Lakers, with their size and their depth at the power forward and center position, and not just the depth, but also the range that these guys can play, I believe gives them the advantage, because you can actually switch out who's going to guard Giannis. Can you have LeBron on Giannis? Yeah. If you want to stick Giannis around to the outside a little bit, yeah. But if you really want to stick him and have him in harm's way pretty much the entire game, I'll put Anthony Davis on him and then force Giannis on the other end to have to play harder against either LeBron on the outside, because if you don't have Giannis on LeBron, LeBron's going to go off. But if you don't have Giannis guarding AD's going to go off. And that's where the true advantages that the Lakers have are really going to begin to set in and stick. I got the Lakers over the Bucks, 4 games to 2. Congratulations, LA. You have been vindicated. Kobe can now completely rest in peace, as the Lakers are once again your NBA champions. But guys, let me know what you think about this down in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. My name is Jay the Reporter, signing out. Peace.